going on, everybody? It is Chris Aiken back once again with another edition of Chris Aiken Presents. Thank you so much for watching. You guys know the drill. Like, subscribe, follow, share, comment. Do the podcasty stuff, please. Will you? Thank you. And now, on to the news. And today, I'm putting on my Sherlock Holmes hat here for a minute, disguised as a Padres hat. And I'm making a prediction, if you want. I am going to predict that starting in 2026, and it's really already started, and I'll explain it here in a minute, but I truly believe that in the coming year, you are going to see a radical shift in free TV. And specifically what I mean, or what I think you're going to see is the beginning of the end of local TV channels. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, no way. There's no way are the local TV channels going away. They've been here since TV. You know, I mean, let's be honest. Our parents, our grandparents, etc. What did they do? They watched the local news. They found out the weather with their favorite weather guy, the local guy, and they had their favorite traffic person that was telling them that there was a car accident on I-480 or whatever. This has been a staple in television for pretty much as long as television has been here. But I do truly think that it's going to end. And there's a bunch of signs out there that are making this clear. And I'll point to them, and you guys can tell me I'm crazy. Please do, in fact. If you think I'm wrong or my points are short-sighted or whatever, tell me in the comments. Just let me know what you think. But here's what I'm seeing. Now, as you guys are well aware, if you've watched cable TV at all in the past 10, 15 years or whatever, every 2 or 3 months, you'll be watching something. Usually it's a sporting event. Usually it's, I don't know, ESPN or something. But they end up with a little ticker that goes across the top that interrupts the game. And it tells you, well, you might lose this channel because these guys don't want to negotiate with these guys. And basically, none of us know what any of it is. You know, we certainly know if we're watching ESPN what ESPN is, but we don't know what it means when they say that Sinclair Entertainment is disputing paying ESPN, et cetera, et cetera. They have all these little licensing disputes that go on all the time. They're constantly negotiating to get more money. So keep that in your mind. Second thing is, most of you that are cord cutters, you certainly know the cost of cord cutting has almost tripled in the last 10 years, maybe more. It probably has tripled, because I remember getting in with just Hulu at like $5 a month. Now it's what, $85 a month for Hulu Live, you know, but the cost is getting out of control. Now, one of the main reasons for that crazy cost has been and continues to be the cost of licensing the local programming, the local channels. And not everywhere. I'm not making a blanket statement because I don't know. I do know in my town here, Cleveland, Ohio, the local programming is not available on streaming. The local news is. They all have their own little channel that is nothing but their local news. But other than that, the channel is not online. And the reason for that is because of the licensing costs. 100%. Because you know where everybody is streaming now, Comcast is losing people by the boatloads, and Cox and all the cable companies. They're losing subscribers. People are moving to the internet. Everybody has a Roku or a Fire Stick. That's just the way it is. But yet this programming is not available. It's like the only programming that is not available on streaming. Now, why is that? Again, it's licensing. So at this point, you've got those facts. The third factor is every single streaming organization under the sun is losing money. They're all, you see them trying to merge, and they're trying to put everything together to consolidate bills. That's why they're doing it. They're not doing it to make this great company that you guys will love to watch. They're doing it to make as much money as they can, period. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They care about making money. And when they're trying to make that money, they're trying to consolidate so that they can cut staff, so that they can cut this and they can cut that. And they shared licensing so that they don't have to pay as much to bring in a piece of content, etc. So you add all these three things up. Now, let's go to the big one. The FCC has approved changing the way that over-the-air TV works, changing the spectrum more or less. They're going from version 1.0 to version 3.0. And I know to everybody, I don't even know what it's called. I'm going to be honest, but I know about it. And the only reason I know about it is because I have a Tableau that I'm going to have to buy a new one for to get a 3.0 instead of 1.0. It's a technical thing. It's a delivery service thing. But what is the point here? If you remember back when they went digital from straight over the air antenna TV to the digital format, everybody got a free box if you wanted one. You get a coupon, you mailed it in, or you took it to the store or whatever. I never did it, but you could get yourself a free box that transcribed what came in on the antenna to the digital. Then you could watch it on your TV. It's a little thing. Government did it all nice then. They ain't planning to do that this time. What they're saying is you're just going to have to buy whatever you want if you want over-the-air TV. And currently, almost none of the TVs that are being made are 3.0 compliant. So now we're going to add all that up. And what do we have? We have licensing fees that nobody wants to pay. We have a technical challenge that is going to make it that you have to pay something to get free TV. And last but not least, and I didn't even mention this, but it makes sense. Why do we need the relevance of local TV is now gone? You know, if you're looking for your local news, most people these days, they're not turning on their TV and sitting around for a half hour. They're going to Twitter, they're going to Facebook, they're going to Instagram, wherever it is that they go. Mostly, I would imagine, X. But you're going online and you're just getting your news in real time to the second. If you're looking to see if there's a problem with a route somewhere that you're going, which is the old traffic model, you can go to Google Maps and it'll tell you there's a traffic accident here. It's 3 miles from you. Take this route instead. You don't need it anymore. So you put all these things together and there's just not a demand for it anymore. And if there's just not a demand for it anymore, why in the world are people going to pay to watch? People are not going to buy. They're not like me. They're not going to buy a new TV. They're not going to buy a new Tableau or a home run or whatever device to get free TV. They're just not going to do it, especially when they can get the bulk of the programming now for free. You don't have to have an antenna TV to get the Dr. Phil show or Judge Judy or whatever they run during the daytime, the game shows, whatever, Price is Right or whatever. You can get all that for free on Pluto or Tubi or Plex or whatever. So that's another thing, another reason that they don't need it. Overall, local TV, I honestly think this is the time. It's going to die. YouTube TV as an example, they're releasing cheaper tiers. They're getting ready to release cheaper tiers for the first time. Right now it's $83 a month, I believe, but now you're going to be able to get the sports tier and probably the travel tier or whatever. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but for sure there will be a sports tier. So if all you're paying for is sports, and obviously ESPN and Fox all teamed up together, that new ESPN Plus thing, that has all the sports that you could just pay $30 for. Again, they're not doing it to make your life easier. They're doing it to make money. They're doing it so that they don't have to pay your local channels anymore. So what does that mean? It means local TV is going to go away. It's already started. Local weather has already started going away across the country. They've pretty much gotten rid of at least half of the weather people on the stations across the country, and they're replacing them with just like the Weather Channel or whatever. If you've ever gone to the Weather Channel, you can turn it on and you'll see some stuff going on somewhere around you. But then they'll come here in your town, it's going to be 35 degrees. And again, you don't even need it anymore. If you have a phone, you got your weather right on it. Nobody's going to TV to watch this stuff. It is a dinosaur at this point, and I truly think it's going to go away. The only reason that I think it still exists on any level is emergency broadcasting system. And even that you can get on your phone. You do get on your phone. And I'm quite sure that with a little bit of geolocating, they could easily set that up so that if you live in this place, you get an alert on your Twitter feed or on your X posts or your X feed or your Facebook feed or whatever. So it's coming. I really, truly think this is going to be the trend in 2026. You are going to see local TV go away. Maybe not in 2026, but you are going to see the steps taken to do it. You are going to see cuts at your favorite TV station. Instead of having a morning team and an afternoon team and an evening team on your news, you're going to have one team that records everything once a day. They're going to come in, they're going to probably do the live morning show, and then they'll record out parts for the afternoon and evening to make it somewhat different, a couple of news stories here and there, and then they'll plug and play with the morning stuff. You won't see them going, hey, good morning, it's 32 degrees and cold out here today. They'll do a more generic of, hello, Cleveland, glad to see you're here. Let's get to the news of the day. And then it'll cut to a package that they can edit in later. That's what's coming. I truly believe. I could be dead wrong. I'd like to know what you think. Leave a message in the comments. Leave a yay or a nay, or if you care. That's the more one that I'm interested in. If I'm crazy, I'm crazy. I get it. I'm curious if it affects you. Do you care? For me, I could care less. I have not watched local TV in forever, other than to watch football games, sports, or to watch national programming that I can now get on Paramount Plus or Peacock or whatever. So to me, it doesn't matter at all. And I think there's a lot more people like me than there are old grandmothers sitting in their rocking chair going, oh, I love this weather guy. He's been my guy for 28 years. So that's what I think. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. As always, very much appreciated. If you could, please, if you haven't already on your way out, do the subscribe and like and all that stuff. Just helps me keep this thing alive. And that's going to do it for this edition of Chris Aiken Presents. Thank you so much for watching. I am Chris Aiken, and guess what, people? I will be again tomorrow. See ya!
Hey, you. Why are you watching this with commercials? Go commercial-free and unlock exclusive content. Become a VIP today on Locals, Substack, or Rumble Premium. Stop waiting.